Hey folks, welcome to the Monday night stream. We made it here again. Let me turn that off. Look at that. Hey, it's John Clark here. We are live. We are live like we are every Monday at 8 o'clock. Welcome to all you regulars. One sec. Always something to mute. If it's not myself, it's always something to mute. So welcome everybody. This is the regular live stream. Live, I might add. We try and do this live because we're kind of crazy like that. Brought to you by the Newfoundland Labrador Folk Arts Society, broadcasting out of St. John's, Newfoundland, Canada, 8 o'clock Newfoundland time every Monday night, whether you like it or not. Great crowd as always. I'd like to throw up a thank you to all you regulars. It's just been great. I must say we can almost count on a good crowd every week, and we really appreciate you all. We certainly do. So we've got nearly 300 subscribers on YouTube. I mean, can you believe it? It's like it's busting at the seams, you know. We're gonna have to like buy more space here shortly. Thank you all for subscribing. That does actually turn into a bit of a revenue stream. So feel free to subscribe on YouTube. And as I've just recently learned, because I'm real slow on YouTube, there's a little bell, and if you want to hit that bell, you'll get a notification every time we go live. So. Which is 8 o'clock Monday night, so you really can't miss it, but it helps. So thanks for all you subscribers. We really appreciate that. Again, thank you for all your donations, folks, over the last month. It really it means the world to us. It's extremely helpful, and you folks have been great. So sincere thanks from all of us at the Newfoundland Labrador Folk Arts Society for your generous support over the years, and especially over this last month. And I think that's the housekeeping. I think that is all the housekeeping. Yes, it is all the housekeeping. Thank you, Gracie. So let's get right to it. Let's get right to it. We're going to bring in our featured guest here. I'm going to do a quick intro. I should say as well, let you all know that we're constantly posting links in the social media chat. That's either in the Facebook or in the YouTube. A lot of times there's a lot of side roads. We really want to introduce these artists to you and relevant content. So even after the show is over, feel free to go back to the comments, and there's hopefully some links that you'll find worth checking out there, and you can kind of keep the show going all week long. All right. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you. How do you even? Introductions are always hard, especially in this medium. But certainly, Anita Best has been at the vanguard of the Newfoundland folk scene for since its revival, I guess, in the 70s, and particularly through the 80s and 90s. She's recorded with just about everyone, and she's just got a great body of work, and she's just been a tireless supporter of Newfoundland culture and Newfoundland folk arts, including a past president of the Newfoundland Labrador Folk Arts Society and a lifetime recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award. So we're going to bring her into the stream, folks, and give her a big hand out there. This is Anita Best.
Hey, John, you're turning my head here with all those kind words. And hello, everybody. It's really great to be here in Norris Point. And I have to say, it's really odd to be looking at yourself singing. But there you go. It's something you don't get to do very often. But I'm going to do it tonight for the first time that I'm actually looking at myself singing. So, I thought I'd start off with a song for Rex Brown, if he's watching anywhere, and it's a song from Placentia Bay that he particularly likes. It was made up by a fellow named Matty Johnson in Pity Fort, and I learned it from Pious Power from Southeast Bight. So here we go. 13 verses, folks. 13 verses. Gull Cove. Attention all, both great and small, I hope that you'll attend and listen on to those few lines that I have lately penned. It do concern the dangers that we do undergo, and our pleasures down in Gull Cove where the stormy winds do blow. Now it happened to be in summertime in the lovely month of May, when the flowers were gently singing and the flowers were in full bloom. Our schooner we got ready and to prosecute did go. The codfish down in Gull Cove where the stormy winds do blow. From Placentia Bay we sailed away, I do mean Pity Fort. Our fishing gear was cod traps, a voyage for to bring forth. But if the codfish fades away, as it oft times done before, we could lose our year in Gull Cove where the stormy winds do blow. Oh, the first few days that we were there, the weather it proved fine. And when the next ones rolled along, well, they're another kind. Our hawsers we got ready and we had to let them go. And we sailed away from Gull Cove where the stormy winds do blow. Now we run her to St. Mary's, it was a place of rest. Particularly up in Riverhead, that's where we all love best. But when the gale is over, back to our gear we'll go, to the rugged shores of Gull Cove where the stormy winds do blow. Now when we arrived at Gull Cove, everything it did look grum. Our traps lay in good order, all scow, our skiff and all. But there's no sign of fish meshed in our twine, and well we all do know that we'll make the skunk in Gull Cove where the stormy winds do blow. Now the schooner Madonna Hayden with Tommy in command, he always got a saving voyage since he came to Gull Cove strand. But the spring when he was leaving home, he had no mind to go to the rugged shores of Gull Cove where the stormy winds do blow. Oh, the James and Mary Hayden is riding up ahead. And the other day when Captain Jim unto his men he said, there's no better sign today, me boys, than there was a month ago. Oh, the curse of hell on Gull Cove where the stormy winds do blow. Bill Emberley from Spencer's Cove in the schooner the Village Bride, he's anchored down in Gull Cove out on the foaming tide. If he had gone to the southern shore, he might have got a load, but he'll lose his year in Gull Cove where the stormy winds do blow. Now my song it only reaches up as far as Leather Cove Point. They might be getting fish up there, but those boats looked awful buoyant. They might be getting fish up there, and they don't want us to know. And we're stuck down in Gull Cove where the stormy winds do blow. Now the carrying Aggie Bailey, I do mean Patrick Han. 'Tis now he is lamenting, but it's all in God's command. God's holy will it must be done, and well we all do know that we'll lose our year in Gull Cove where the stormy winds do blow. For myself, the great composer, it makes no odds to me. I have a good time sleeping, there's nothing to trouble me. But when my meals are cooked and net, back to my bunk I'll go, and the Gull Cove waves lull me asleep where the stormy winds do blow. Now to conclude and finish, I do mean to end my song. My name is Matty Johnson, Pity Fort I do belong. I don't think I've offended you so far forth as I know, but I'll bid adieu to Gull Cove, where the stormy winds do blow. And that's Gull Cove for you. A great song from Matty Johnson from Pity Fort and Gull Cove. And here's another song. Now I'm going to have a chat with John in a little while after this one, maybe. And it's called The Crockery Ware. I got it from my Uncle Mac. He was a great singer, and he always used to sing this song. So I'll try it now in memory of Uncle Mac Best. And last gone off, he lived in Freshwater, and that's where he's buried, in Freshwater in Placentia. So here we go. The Crockery Ware. In London town a lad did dwell, courted a lass and he loved her well. You know it was his own delight to go see her in the middle of the night. To me wee whack follow diddle I G-O, wee whack follow diddle I G-O. Now this young girl on her bed she lay, thought of a trick she'd like to play. Behind the door she placed a chair, and on that chair some crockery ware. To me wee whack follow diddle I G-O, wee whack follow diddle I G-O. Now this young lad came out in the night, hunting for his heart's delight. He hooked his toe all in the chair, and tumbled into the crockery ware. To me wee whack follow diddle I G-O, wee whack follow diddle I G-O. Now her old mother woke up with a fright, searching for a candlelight. She said, young man, what brought you here, a smashing up me crockery ware? To me wee whack follow diddle I G-O, wee whack follow diddle I G-O. Now this young girl on her bed she lay, she thought of the trick she had to play. She said, young man, I do declare, you'll pay my mother for her crockery ware. To me wee whack follow diddle I G-O, wee whack follow diddle I G-O. He said, old woman, don't be so cross, I lost my way all to my cost. Here's £5.10 for your broken chair, and 5 more shillings for your crockery ware. To me wee whack follow diddle I G-O, wee whack follow diddle I G-O. Come all ye lads who court and spark, never go hunting in the dark. And if you do, you must beware, and don't fall into the crockery ware. To me wee whack follow diddle I G-O, wee whack follow diddle I G-O. And that's the crockery ware.
Good one, Anita.
I thought you might like that one. You know what crockery ware is referring to, of course.
No, I can't say I did. I was just kind of laughing because I've fallen into some crockery ware.
Not this kind, I hope. It's the crockery ware you keep under your bed if you don't have a toilet.
Well, I haven't fallen into that. Not lately, or not that I can remember, anyway.
Good.
You got that from your Uncle Mac? Your Uncle Mac, you say?
My Uncle Mac, yeah. He was a great singer.
From Mersheen, I take it?
Yeah, Merriment.
Mersheen.
That's if you're pronouncing it in Grandly, you say Merriment. But the people who are from there call it Merriment.
Yes, that's right. Last time you were on, I caught that. It's a hard one to get. You really gotta go right through it,
Yeah,
immersion.
you almost got to be from there.
Yeah, yeah. That always helps, doesn't it?
We'll forgive you. We can make you an honorary Merishner.
Well, I wouldn't mind being there right about now.
Oh well, and there's some people out there. There's a Facebook page for Merishine, and there's some people who are out there now fishing. Reed Pomeroy Carter, and they're out there fishing, and they're sending us all kinds of photographs from there. It's
And
great.
they're out there right now, you say?
Yeah, they're posting on Facebook from out in Merishine.
Yes, by.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, it's as good a spot to be as any these days, I'd say.
Well, it's a lovely spot. There's not many people living there now, but there's someone there pretty well all the time fishing, and holidaying and all that.
Right, yes. And you're out in Neddies Harbor now, just
Neddies Harbor, yeah, yeah, out in Norris Point,
right.
the
Be
town
quiet.
of Norris Point. We're in the suburb of Neddies Harbor.
Excellent. Should let everyone know too. I'm not sure if the link has gone up yet, but of course you host a regular show on the Voice of Bombay Radio, right?
That's right, yeah. 95.9 FM and 98.1 and vobb.org.
Fantastic.
That's what we do a live stream from there.
Yes, absolutely. And I think the link we'll post a link to that as well. So anyone that's new to Anita and her music, you can hang out with her every week. Just not at the expense of this show, but
No, exactly. No, it's Friday afternoons actually from 2 to 4.
okay.
Friday afternoons from 2 to 4, and I mostly play traditional stuff. But I have a really eclectic musical tastes, and
Yeah.
and I play a lot of UK folk musicians and contemporary folk and singer songwriter and stuff like that. It's not all unaccompanied old fellas singing half in their cups,
The 14 verses.
or old girls. Well, now some of them are even longer than 13 verses, but there
Oh
you go.
yeah, those are the abridged versions for sure. We had a grand chat on the sound check that I didn't know, but Anita was telling me the one of her favorite versions of the Petty Harbor Bait Skiff was done by one Mr. Roger House, who's known as a blues man in these parts.
Yeah, Roger and I used to play together a scattered gig, out at the Red Lion in Portugal Cove, and we used to play Fairport Convention, Steel Ice Band, that kind of stuff, and a few Newfoundland numbers. It was great to harmonise with Roger. He's a great hand to sing and like a totally musical soul, of course.
Yes.
But the Petty Harbor Bates Gift, his version of it, I think, is one of my favorites. It is my favorite, really, with the beautiful guitar that he has with it. You can find it on Kelly Russell's compilation album called Another Time.
Now, I had a look on Kelly's site, and as I mentioned at the sound check, that we've been posting the links to that because for anyone that didn't get the memo, Kelly has made a whole bunch of Newfoundland records for free download on Bandcamp, and we'll post the link to that shortly, as we do most days these days, because it's fantastic. That's completely free, but don't be afraid to donate for sure. But I didn't see that album there, Anita.
Oh, you didn't see that? Oh,
I didn't.
okay.
So, I'd like to track this down because if you say Roger House has your favorite version of the Petty Harbor Bait Skiff, I'd like to hear it.
It's a great version. It's got the guitar is incredible on it. I have to say.
All right. Well, maybe what we'll do is we'll leave that to the folks at Facebook. I'm sure someone out there might be able to steer us in the right direction. And if not, we'll track it down, and maybe we'll hook you up on this show, and maybe you can hook everybody up on your next show on Voice of
Maybe I'll
Bombay.
play it next time.
Shoot me a message and let me know.
Yeah, because I'm doing a Newfoundland show next Friday. So
There you go. Well, I look forward to hearing it on your recommendation.
yes, it's a wonderful thing.
I bet it is. Well, I'm going to dart on out of here and let you take it out with a couple more 15-verse epic songs of comedy and horror.
I'll try and keep them short
Take as long as you need, my dear.
and to the point.
Anita Vest, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks. It's great to be singing Newfoundland songs, and I like to do that probably more than anything. But I thought tonight I'd like to sing for you, for those of you who like English folk songs. It's a song I learned when I was over in England, in the 60s now. And I learned it from our landlady. We lived on the West Cromwell Road in a flat. There's a whole pile of us lived over there in the flat. And our landlady had this song, and I learned it from her. She's I still remember her singing it out in the back garden. We had our toilet. It was sort of like living in Mersheen or Mershin. It was the toilet was out in the backyard, and you had to go outdoors to go to the toilet. But there was a beautiful rose garden, and she used to come down and tend the roses, and I'd go out and listen to her singing. And this is one of her songs. When I was in my prime, I flourished like a vine. Along there came a false young man who stole away my time, who stole the heart of mine. The gardener standing by, 3 offers he made to me: the pink, the violet, and red rose, which I refused all 3, which I refused all 3. The pink's no flower at all, for it fades away too soon. The violet, that's too pale a hue. I think I'll wait till June. I think I'll wait till June. In June the red rose blooms, but that's not the flower for me. I'll pluck that red rose by the roots and plant a willow tree, and plant a willow tree. And the willow tree will weep, and the willow tree will twine. I wish I was in that young man's arms who stole away my time, who stole away my time. If I am left 1 year, and God will grant me grace, I'll weep a bowl of crystal tears to wash his deceitful face, to wash his deceitful face. And I have to say, that was, I remember that from way back then. I used to hear her pruning her roses and singing in the garden. And here's a song that I got from a recording that Jessie Fudge made way back in the 60s, 70s. I can't remember exactly when. But Jessie Fudge was from Growell. Down in Hermitage Bay, and he went to Ramia and he made some recordings. It's Time for Another One, I think, is the name of the CD. Anyway, it was put out by MMAP and in the School of Music, and it. You'll see two versions of it there. One is the straight version by Mr. Robert Childs, and the other one is is a version that Pamela Morgan and Graham Wells accompany Mr. Childs singing the song. But, they didn't actually accompany him, but they played along with his voice. So I like this song a lot. It's a little bit of a risque song, but, it's nighttime. And when we were young, nothing was risque. Everything was said and spoken in front of us. So I'm going to carry on that tradition now and sing you this little song. And it's called Sal Stopped Up for to Iron Some Clothes. Last Saturday night, as I suppose, Sal stopped up for to iron some clothes to me high wack fell the diddle all the dee. And the verses are doubled in this one, so you can join me. Last Saturday night, as I suppose, Sal stopped up for to iron some clothes to me high wack fell the diddle all the dee. For fear that she might lonesome be, Tom stopped up to her company be to me high wack fell the diddle all the dee. For fear that she might lonesome be, Tom stopped up to her company be to me high wack fell the diddle all the dee. Oh, now, says Sal, if it wouldn't for the shame, you and I might play the game to me high wack fell the diddle all the dee. Oh, now, said Sal, if it wouldn't for the shame, you and I might play the game to me high wack fell the diddle all the dee. Oh, says Tom, what shame would it be? There's no one here but you and me to me high wack fell the diddle all the dee. Oh, says Tom, what shame would it be? There's no one here but you and me, and the high wack fell the diddle all the dee. So off they stripped to their naked skin, and into the big bed they jumped into me high wack fell the diddle all the dee. Off they stripped to their naked skin, and into the big bed they jumped into me high wack fell the diddle all the dee. In they jumped and 'twas a mix, out they jumped and 'twas a fix to me high wack fell the diddle all the dee. Now her old man woke up in a fright, searching for a candlelight to me high wack fell the diddle all the dee. Down he come to his surprise, Sal's big legs and Sal's fat thighs to me high wack fell the diddle all the dee. Down he come to his surprise, Sal's big legs and Sal's whack thighs to me high wack fell diddle all the dee. Oh, now, says the old man, this can't be. We'll have to marry Sal and take her away to me high wack fell the diddle all the dee. Oh, now, says Sal, now, says the old man, this can't be. I'll have to marry Sal and take her away to me high wack fell the diddle all the dee. So now Sal's married, she's living to her ease, and she get a big bird when she pleased to me high wack fell the diddle all the dee. And now Sal's married, she living to her ease, and she get a big bird when she pleased to me high wack fell the diddle all the dee. And that's the story of Tom and Sal. There, Sal stopped up for to iron some clothes, and she had some company with her. And the last one I'm going to sing for you tonight is a Peter Leonard song, and it's I'll tell you the story of this song, but it's around this time of the year, and in the springtime, the men from Placentia Bay used to go over to St. Pierre and get a few supplies. You know, they'd get things that they were run short of, sugar and tea and coffee and things of that nature. And they'd stock up a bit on some alcohol that they'd buy over in St. Pierre, some port wine for the ladies, of course, and some cans of alcohol for themselves to mix and have a good time later on the summer when the garden party would get underway. Anyway, they used to go over, and you know, in order to have the money to purchase these things, they would bring over birch billets. They cut up chunks of birch wood and bring it over and sell it to the housewives in St. Pierre. Well, now it's very rare in Placentia Bay that you know the place is blocked with ice. Very rare that the place is blocked entirely with ice, but that's what happened. The ice was drifting down past, and the wind turned around from the southern, and it drove the ice back into Placentia Bay, and the men were not able to go to Saint Pierre. They were 6 weeks barred in with the ice there, and. You know, it was a hardship, especially on anyone who smokes. And I can tell you, myself and John Clark, I think we both smoked. We gave it up a long time ago, but I still crave cigarettes. Every now and then I crave a smoke. John tells me that he doesn't have that craving anymore, but you know, do I believe him? I'm not sure. Anyway, this is a song called the Tobacco Song that Peter Leonard made. Peter was from Placentia Bay, from Isle of Ellen, I believe. And he made this song about the time when they were barred in with ice and couldn't get over to Saint Pierre. And there might be a few unfamiliar words in it, but you know, you'll figure out what they mean from the sense of the song. And people used to smoke with rod at one time, when they'd run out of tobacco, because, it wasn't always, you couldn't just run out to the shop if you're in Placentia Bay and buy some tobacco. You had to make do with what you had. Some people smoke tea and some people smoke with rod. And I can tell you, if you dry out with rod in your oven, be prepared for a smell of cat's pee to pervade your whole house, because that's what I did one time. And I had that unfortunate experience. But anyway, I'll sing you the song. Ye fellas smokes tobacco, come pity my case. I am here on this island without a damn taste. Surrounded by ice and encompassed with snow, in search of that weed, I don't know where to go. May the great God of heaven take pity on I, and send me some baccy, or else I will die. 'Tis 6 weeks or better since I had a draw, and I can't remember when I last had a chaw. Ye fellas smokes tea, well, ye better beware, for it is very scarce and most damnable dear. And to my opinion, a good cup of tea would suit you far better than to smoke it away. Now them that smokes moss, the worst robbers of all, goes away with their bags, picking that in the fall. If they'd leave it alone, sure to keep their house tight, but they're only just making a fool of the pipe. Now I can't smoke the trash I see some people smoke, such as with rod and shavings and strands of old rope. For some they do say wax it is good to chaw, but it loosens your teeth, puts a kink in your jaw. If the wind veers northeast, then the ice it will go, and we'll all get some baccy, St. Peter's, I know. Every man with his tavern stuck out of his gob, and to hell we'll shove shavings, spruce rind, and with rod. And thank you very much to the Folk Art Society, and thank you to John and your lovely technical assistant there. And I wish you all the very best.
Thank you very much, Anita. That was lovely. The only problem is I'm dying for a smoke now.
I knew it.
Just like that.
This kind of reminds me of this, when they were stuck in the ice in Placentia Bay, sort of reminds me of the time when nowadays, like we're stuck in this lockdown, in this COVID lockdown, and we can't go anywhere or see anybody or do anything.
You wouldn't
But
want to be out of cigarettes.
Smoke, I guess. I'm not going to take it up again.
No, God, no. No going back on that. Anita Best, thank you very much, Anita. It was lovely to see you, and thanks for doing this.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you, John. Thanks for all the work you do.
Cheers. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
And that's Anita Best, ladies and gentlemen, out in Neddies Harbor. Big hand out there in Cyberland. She's gold, if there ever was one. So thank you, Anita. And great songs. I really don't feel like having a cigarette, to be honest. I'm done with it. I'm so glad to be clear of it. I wouldn't even smoke all with rod if you gave me a bag of it. So a little bit of the usual housekeeping, I suppose. That link, I think, to Kelly Russell's Bandcamp page has gone up there, I do believe. Help yourselves, folks. That's there's all kinds of Newfoundland gold there. Hello, Joanne from High River. Nice to see you. Help yourself. It's a free download for a small donation, Imelda. I hope you're doing well. And get yourself some great stuff, including most of the recorded stuff from Uncle Mo's and from Pigeon Inlet, which is, I mean, I can't say enough about it. I love that stuff. Always have. So feel free to drop over there. And what else have we got? The RPM Challenge has clued up. For those of you that have been watching the show, of course, we've had several specials on that business. And so we're going to post a link to where you can check out all the RPM submissions. Again, it's a month-long challenge to record music because you can. So it's all in there. I've listened to some of it. It's all over the place. So go there if you dare. But I guarantee you there's going to be some gold there. We find some every year. And there'll be folks that you'll be hearing on this show in the next little while, I'm sure. Once we find them, they'll be up. Wednesday night, can't do it, boys. We're in lockdown. We're locked down for a couple more weeks, so no Wednesday night at the ship. And next Monday is all in slings because you get all these things programmed, and some things you can do in the office, some things you can do remotely, and some things you can't do at all. So all the schedule is all in slings right now. So it's going to take a little while to get that pulled back in order. But when we do get it all figured out, you can find all of our shows, of course, at on the events page at nlfolk.com. And we've got a mailing list. Feel free to subscribe. Facebook. The YouTube thing is great because eventually, apparently, we can turn that into a revenue stream. And of course, well, why not, right? We'll sell ads to, I don't know, Tim Hortons or something. So that is the housekeeping for this week. That is all that. Great crowd. Good to have you all. We're going to move on. We got a couple more guests for you tonight. I forgot to mention at the beginning of the show because it was a bit of a last-minute technical scramble. Shout out to Gracie Reed, who's working behind the scenes to put things together. We were going to be a young fiddler from Mount Cornerbrook Way by the name of Michael Park. Sent us in a video, and he's doing an Emile tune, Lover's Reel. So we're going to close the show with that one. So let's get him in the running there. And in the meantime, we're going to bring in our next guest for the second half of the show. And this is the fleet of flute and the wet of whistle, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mr. Gerry Strong. Will you welcome him into the stream?
Hello there, John. How's it going? And everybody else too, I suppose. It's more than him out there, I hope. I'm just going to play a few tunes here on my on the flute and the whistle, and I might take it upon myself to sing a song. Anita was talking about looking at herself singing, how hard it was, and I find it hard listening to myself singing. So I'm doubly wouldn't call it blessed, but I'm doubly whatever the word would be tonight because I got to look and listen to myself singing. But I'm not going to sing yet. I'm going to start off with an air and go into a reel. The air is an Irish air, and it's called Cape Clear. I don't know if I don't know anything about it. I learned it from a Paddy Keenan album years and years ago. He played it, and that's where I got it from. And if anybody out there could tell me, I know Cape Clear. I looked it up. It's a landmark on the southwest coast of Ireland. So I'm thinking that any immigrants who would have been coming over this way might have been one of the last pieces of land they saw over there before they got out to this side of the Atlantic. So I thought it might be have some connection loosely that way to here. And I'm going to follow that with a tune that Rufus Ginchard wrote. For those who don't know, Rufus was a great fiddle player, passed on a lot of tunes to us that would have been lost if it wasn't for him. He didn't write very many, but this is the one that he did, and he wrote it in honor of another Canadian musician born in Ontario, but spent a lot of his life in hello, Rum Ragged, in Nova Scotia, and the name of the tune is Stan Rogers. So Cape Clear and Stan Rogers. Thank you very much, Doug. Um, like I said, if there's anybody out there who knows a little bit about Cape Clear, I'd appreciate it. Just I don't know if it's an old tune, a new tune, anything about it at all. So it would be nice to find out. I'm going to follow that with a song now. And John mentioned to me earlier. I know every time I see Anita, she asks me to sing it, so I'll sing it for her now. And I got a sister I'm thinking is probably tuned in up in Ottawa. She kind of likes it, Carolyn. So anyway, it's a song I learned. My uncle Ted Drover had a small the Jesse Cull small little passenger boat on the northeast coast where I grew up, and in these travels he collected this, or he got this song. I'm not sure where he got it from. It's in the Gerald S. Doyle book, but his version of it, the melody of it, is completely different from what's in the Gerald S. Doyle book, and I'm sticking with his version of it. And it's a song. It's called "The Hammer Jane," and it's sort of a little bit of a parody of Barbara Allen and those type songs about true love and the tragedy towards the end of it all. I'm going to need a drink of water for this one. Now 'tis of a young maiden this story I'll tell, and of her young lover and what them befell. Now her lover was a captain what sailed the blue sea, and these are the circumstances and the departure of he. Now the vessel what he sailed in 'twas called the Hammer Jane. 'Twas in honor of she that he called her that name. So that while he were sailing upon the blue sea, the vessel what he sailed in would remind him of she. Oh, with a cargo of saltfish the captain sailed away. He sailed away from his true love on a summer's day. Now he never more was heard of, nor his vessel so brave. So 'tis figured pretty generally that he met a watery grave. On a cold winter's morning, all down by the sea, Hammer Jane sat a-waitin' for he. On a cold winter's morning, her body were found. So 'tis figured pretty generally she went crazy and got drowned. They buried her body all in the burying ground. They set up an headstone saying how she were found. Alongside of her head they sawed out a willow tree, so the wind in the willers would remind them of she. Not very long afterwards these your things occurred. A stretcher came to the town where Hammer Jane were interned. He asked of the sexton where Hammer Jane might be, and he answered by pinting to the old willow tree. The very next morning by the side of Hammer Jane, they found his cold carcass insensibly alain, and in his breast pocket was a handkerchief of hern. So 'twas figured pretty generally 'twas the captain returned. They buried his body in a grave close by her. Alongside of her head they sawed out a wild briar, so the wind in the willers would remind him of she, and the wild briar twisting round it would remind him of he. There you go, the Hammer Jane. Mute yourself there, John.
I did that for your brother-in-law.
Told you.
We had to do a couple sound checks because Gerry was thrashing around the crockery and whatnot and beat everything up. And we went back for the second sound check, and he starts mouthing and not making any noise. And I'm trying to figure out why he's muted. Good one, man.
Oh, thanks, John. Yeah.
I just threw up a link there, actually. Something I didn't know, that the grandson of Gerald S. Doyle runs the theater pharmacy at the bottom of the Longs Hill.
Oh, go on. Yeah.
And he's the fellow that publishes the Newfoundland Almanac every year.
Wow. Yeah. Jeez. Yeah.
And
And yeah, I got that dish. I got it for my brother for Christmas. Yeah. The Newfoundland Almanac. Yes.
and I guess if you that's where you could get it, at the bottom of the Longs Hill. And he's a lovely
Yeah.
man. He does a lot for the community by it. It's pretty impressive, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. Great. Yeah. It's good to see it carrying on. Like somebody in like who's got the lineage carrying it on, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Sure.
he's a fine fellow, and what he does for the community, there are a lot of folks, a lot of seniors and whatnot in that area. He delivers their prescriptions himself, and he sets
Yeah.
them up with forms. It's quite fantastic. It really is.
That's fabulous. Fabulous. Yeah.
So I would give a
Yeah.
shout out to Theater Pharmacy. If you want to get clear of the Sobeys crowd and the all the big chains, there's a fine pharmacy right in downtown St. John's.
There you go. Support local.
That's what you want, sir.
100%. Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Jerry, we're
Yeah.
going to pop up a link to your website there. Well, not your website because that one's down, but your
Yeah.
Sing Song link
Yes.
there.
Yeah. That's but the only thing I got online except the old Facebook. That's it. But yeah, that's Jim Payne's Sing Song Inc.
Yes.
Site
Uh,
where you can
And you can get your album off of there, the Velveeta in the Wind, I do believe.
The Mariah Velveeta in the Wind, yes. Now, there is another website, cotillion.info. I'm with Cotillion now, Trio, and Dave Panting and Hugh Scott and myself, and we have a website as well. So it's cotillion, COTILLION.info, INFO.
We shall track that down and
That,
pop it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm also associated with Soundbone, who put off a music camp every year in Finland, or in Kildevil. Obviously, this year now, it's last year and this year, it's going to be online. We're still carrying it on. So information on that is at Soundbones, SOUNDBONE.ca.
We'll make notes of that and get those links in the regular rotation there.
Great boy. Yeah, thanks.
Especially the Soundbone. Eric works pretty hard out there on the West Coast.
Certainly does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Puts
You
a lot of
stocking with
work in.
snow out there or what?
No, boys, not too bad. Well, we're getting another dump tomorrow. I was out all day. Well, good part of the afternoon, making sure my snowblower is going to be okay for tomorrow. So,
You might need it tomorrow.
yeah, I think so. Yeah, think so. Yeah.
I was thinking
Yeah.
I'd just soon sell the car as is, where is, and go out there and shovel it out right now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, in town. I mean, geez, you fellas, you got nowhere to put it. Out here, like, there's all kinds of places to put it here.
Oh, man, we
all
got
kinds of room around.
Last year she was piled to the eaves, my son.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, out here too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we had places to put it though. Just beautiful downtown freshwater, boy. The Conception Bay North freshwater. Yeah. Out by Carbonear. Yeah.
Perfect, sir. Well, listen, take us out with another one, and thanks for stopping by, man.
Will do. And thanks for having me, and it's been a pleasure talking with you the last couple of days, getting all this set up. And thanks to yourself and Gracie and all the rest of the crowd at the Folk Arts for keeping this thing going through everything that we've been going through. It's great. It's not only helps us out like with seeing y'all, but it also gives us something to keeps it going. It's great.
Yep, we just got to hold fast until she passes.
Exactly. Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Well, folks,
Yep.
this is Gerry Strong. I'm going to dodge out and let him close out a set with the tin whistle.
All right, I'm going to play a set of Rufus tunes again. I'm going back to Rufus. These are three fiddle tunes that he would have played. The first one is called Prospers. The middle one is called Old Bill White's, and the last one is called Lizzie's. Now, I got Kelly Russell's book of tunes, and that's where I got Old Bill White from. And I picked it out, and not very many fiddle players picked it out, and some don't even like the tune, But I picked up on it, and I really liked it, and it just sits on the whistle so nice. And not long after I learned the tune, I got an email from a guy in Nova Scotia who wanted his son to learn the whistle and just asked him for some advice. And he mentioned that his grandfather played the whistle. And I asked him what his grandfather's name was, and he said Bill White. So then I'm thinking, geez, that was probably the Bill White that Rufus would have known and got the tune from, and maybe it was a whistle tune that Bill White had played. And so that's why, and probably why it clicked for me, because it does sit nicely on the whistle, and it didn't click with the fiddle player so much because maybe it doesn't fit so nice on the whistle. Certain tunes fit certain instruments better than others. So I'll play that set of tunes to finish up here. And again, thanks to all the people who make this work, and thanks for all for watching. I saw some of the comments there. Great to see you. Great to know that you're out there and not here in my kitchen alone. So these tunes, Prosper's, Old Bill White's, and Lizzie's. Thanks to y'all. Good night.
Thank you, Gerry.
It's great, John. Great to have this on the go, boy. Yeah.
Yes, boy.
And I have to second what Anita said. That version of Petty Harbor Bass Gift, Roger House, is the best you'd ever hear. And on that same album, the best version of Kelligrew Soiree, Anita wouldn't tell you this, but I will, is done. She does the Kelligrew Soiree on that.
With Sandy.
Yep, and it's the best version I've ever heard of that, too. It's a great album. The whole album is fantastic.
Has that got, just pretending Anita's not here, but has that got the one with the Cliffs of Bacaloo as well with Sandy?
No. That's another one. That's on,
that's Bristol's Hope.
They recorded Bristol's Hope, yeah.
Yeah.
This one is, I think it was called Another Time. And what it was, Don Walsh and Kelly Russell at the time decided to record an album of old Newfoundland standards, but with a modern touch to it. And they got different people to do, people from different idioms, say like Roger House, a blues singer, to do one of the songs and stuff, and it's absolutely brilliant. The whole album is great.
Okay, well we gotta track this down somewhere and find out where we can get our hands on it.
Yeah, you should.
Yep. Yeah. All right, there we go.
Yes, boy. Yeah. And Anita, if you're still listening, and you wants to, just say, I used to smoke as well.
I got to bring her in now. I got to bring her in.
All right.
There she is.
There she is. Look. Hello, Anita. But a buddy, I used to smoke, so I know what it's like. I don't crave it anymore. It turns my stomach now, even the thought of it. But a buddy of mine I used to work with, he had a hell of a time trying to quit. And what he did was, and he still does, he after about 4 or 5 attempts, he finally quit. like somebody says, quitting is easy. You can do it. He done it a number of times. but staying quit was his problem. Anyway, what he did was he bought a small little bag of pipe tobacco and got that out in his shed. And when the urge really hits him, he'll just go out into his shed. He'll open up the pipe tobacco, stick his nose down in it, have a sniff, close it up, and he's happy enough. Then that's his fix. He doesn't, So try that. Never mind you with Rod.
No, I haven't smoked in ages and ages. I don't think I'll start again now.
No, don't.
No, we're all clear of that. Just we'll stay clear of it.
Yeah.
All
It
right.
was
Sure.
Seamus Gray that showed me how to knock off smoking.
Oh, was it?
He said, say no to the next one.
Yeah.
And I kept doing that for a while. And next
Yeah.
thing you know, I was off him.
But the poor bugger though, he couldn't do it himself.
No, but
No.
he knocked off an even worse habit than that.
He certainly did. And I told him that when I don't mean to be telling stories out of school, right? But when I did his X-ray when that showed what the smoking was doing to his lungs, and I said to Seamus, Barry Martin was there as well. We all know Barry, and he was reading the X-ray, and he said, Seamus, he says, if you quit smoking, it's not going to get any better, but it'll keep it from getting any much worse, any much quicker, very much quicker. And I said, Seamus, you should be able to do that. I said, you kicked a much worse habit. I said, you've proven that you can do it. And he looked at me. He said, "No, Gerry." He says, smoking is a much worse addiction. And so it is. So it is. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I left you a little note there about Cape Clear if you want to read it.
Oh, good, great, thanks. Yeah. I'll have a look. Yeah.
Some fun in the boys.
Isn't it? Yeah. Good to see you
Good
all.
night, everybody.
Yes.
Good
boys.
night.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you. Cheers.
And this is Gerry Strong and Anita Best, folks. Lovely, just lovely. Well, we do the best we can in these times, and we'll hold her until we can get back in person again. So to clue up the show, going to pop up a link here to our friends at O'Brien's Music. All these albums, of course, that we talked about are available at our friends O'Brien's or Fred's Records or both. So feel free to look those folks up and get yourself some good old Newfoundland music. There's all kinds of it out there. And of course, we posted the link to Kelly's website. You can't beat that. And we'll pop this up in the chat as well, actually. This is NL Live Events. They're putting together weekly compilations of anyone in Newfoundland that's doing live streams. So basically, it's all there. So, you can visit us no matter where you're from. You can hang out with us any night of the week. So the amazing power of the internet. There you go. So feel free to check that out, okay? And it's a Facebook page. You can subscribe to that. And I think that is about all of the. That's about all that's fit to print here. I want to thank everybody as always. So many of you folks there. Thanks for commenting, showing us where you're from, and chiming in. Great crowd tonight. It does help as I think both Anita and Gerry said, just to see that there are people out there. It just brings an extra level of reality to the whole thing. So we appreciate you guys hanging out with us every Monday. We really do. I want to give a thanks to my cohort in crime there, Gracie Reed in the background, pushing the buttons and just really, really making my life a lot easier, because this is not fit to do by yourself, let me tell you. So a shout out to Gracie, and as well as our executive director, Aaron Whitney, and our volunteer board of directors at the Folk Art Society. It's not just me and Gracie here, folks. There's a lot of folks at this. And special thanks to Anita and Gerry for showing up and doing this and getting me through this little hump here as we reschedule our Monday nights as we proceed through this little bit of a lockdown. So we're going to close the show tonight, folks. This young fellow, he came across my bow a couple of years ago, actually, and because we deal with a lot of young musicians, and he was quite good a couple of years ago, to be honest. I remember his ear. It makes your ears perk up, and he's only getting better. And he's taken some lessons with the fantastic Carol Besswater, which would make you play good fiddle even if you didn't play fiddle. And he sent us a video of an Emile Benoit tune. Of course, Emile is a renowned fiddle, one of the godfathers of Newfoundland fiddle, and he's learning it, and he's learning it the right way. He's a real good fiddler. He's going to be a great fiddler. Will you welcome into the stream here? This is a pre-recorded video from young Michael Park. And thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Hi, I'm Michael Park. I'm going to play a good old Emile tune called A Lover's Reel. Hope you enjoy.